Soundtrap on a laptop or desktop computer. I'm using a Mac, but it should be good if you're using Windows as well. So I've already gone to soundtrap.com and I've logged in. Since it will mess up my other tabs, I'm not going to log out and log back in, but just know this, that when you do log in, always press the log in with Google button and log in using your PPHS email address. Okay, most of you have already signed up for my Soundtrap class, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Anywho, the way that you get started in Soundtrap is often you'll just click enter the studio, but please note that if you are doing this for a particular assignment like the Soundtrap beat coming up, there will already be a Soundtrap link on the assignment that you can click on. Okay, so you'll just click on that, and what it'll do is just open up the exact assignment setup how it should be. Okay, so it's loading up right now, and what I'm going to show you is just how to use the loops and how to do some of the basics like fading in, fading out, adjusting the volume, and how to just, oh, hello. Hope you enjoyed that phone ring. All right, so we don't need to worry about this. I'm going to X out that window, and what you're going to see here is a blank project, okay? I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to rename my project Miss Weinert's Tutorial Example. Okay, that's very simple to do, but you can always rename your project if you need to. And the first thing that we're going to do is explore the loops. So over in the corner here on the purple music note button, if you click that, you're going to see this side window pop up with lots and lots and lots of beats. Okay, before we get into that, it's really important for you to go up to where it says originals here in the search bar and to click the close button. Okay, just exit out, and what that does is it just opens up more beats for you to hear. Okay, in general, when you press play, it plays you a little snippet of the beat, and this is really fun to do. You could sit here for hours and listen to all the beats, but that's not really very time efficient. So what I'm going to do, and what you should do, is use these buttons to narrow down your search. So for this, I'd really like to use a synth sound that's kind of like a computerized sound that you hear in tons of music. And I'm just going to play some of these synth sounds till I find something I like. Ooh, that's nice. All right, so if I like something, I can either double click or I could just drag and drop that loop right into my project place. And you'll see it plays it automatically. I can go down here to the bottom where I have play and stop and some other functions. Press stop and make it so I don't have to listen to it right now. All right, so we have a loop. Now, this purple bar up here is kind of important because when you press it, this is a looping function for your project. So what this does is that when I play it, it's just everything is just going to keep playing within this little section. So you'll see the cursor bounce back in a second. If I click on that purple bar, that will turn off that function, and that means that the cursor will keep going, which is helpful sometimes, but not all the time, because you'll see now there's no music here and it's just playing nothing. So for right now, I'm going to keep that looper on, and I want to show you a couple things about this track. So the first thing you need to know how to do is how to loop a loop. I'm saying the word loop way too many times. I'm going to get this guy out of the way by clicking that. But you see this circle arrow? When you press that and you drag with your mouse or with your trackpad, it allows you to keep expanding this loop to make it replay a bunch of times. Okay? I only really wanted to play 4 times, so that's what I'm going to do. Now it's just going to continue to play. Okay? Another thing about this track that you can do is use this little edit button here. And here, this will give you some different options of what you want to do. I'd like to fade out this little track, and you'll see what had happened here is this little kind of gray thing showed up at the end, and there's a dot where I could drag it. This is actually my fade out. Let me show you what that sounds like. You see how that faded out. Okay, we're good there. Now we are going to continue on. So I'm going to find another beat to match this, or another loop rather. I think I want to do some bass. So I'm going to click on bass, and this is kind of fun. You can play your track, and I'm having it loop right now while I listen to some other things. Ooh. Well, that was awesome right off the bat. I like this a lot, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add this track. You notice I just kind of added it randomly in the middle of my project. I don't want it to do that, so what you can do is click and drag this over however you want, wherever you want it to land. So actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have it start with the lucid lead, and then I'm going to extend this so they end at the same time. And then I'm going to add this other track. Which one was it? Yeah, that was the one. I'm going to add a third track here. Again, I don't want this one to start here. I'm going to scoot it over and have it start there. Okay? So let's listen to what we have so far. Oh, I forgot to turn off the looper. Lesson learned. Cool. So that's what we have so far. Now, I want to take you over here to this little area of your project, and here you're going to see a few different buttons. So the first one, this one's pretty easy to figure out. This is your mute button. So let's say I don't want to hear this track. Just press mute. See, it goes gray, but it'll still play the rest of it. Okay. The little headphone button is the solo button. And what that does is only play the track that you press the solo button for. Okay. And then the last thing I want to show you, because honestly we don't really mess with this little R right here right now, but this volume slider is really important. And how you use it is you click on it with your mouse or with your trackpad and you drag up or down. And what that does is that adjusts the volume of every single track. So I know right now I want my synth lead to be a little softer. I'll turn off this, well, extend my loop so you hear the whole thing. Hear how it's louder now? Synth a little bit louder. Turn off this, or turn it down. And that's really just allowing me to just make sure these tracks are balanced out nicely so one's not super loud or super soft. So these volume things are very helpful. I should note right now that it's very important to use headphones when you work with Soundtrap because it's nearly impossible to hear exactly what's going on if you're just using your computer speakers. So make sure you do that. Over here, this is the last thing I'd like to show you, one of the last things. There is a little collaboration button. When you click on this, you can invite other people to your project. You just do this. Now, You don't always have to use this, but sometimes you might need to share a project with me. And so that way you type in my name. I'm actually already on my own account, so I can't do that. So I'm going to invite, I'm going to invite Nick from our class. Okay. And so when I do that, you just click invite and it's going to invite him. I'm not going to really do that right now, but what would happen is when Nick were to accept that invite, his little icon would appear over here and then we could chat. This is important because I need to be on your projects and invited, and I will leave your feedback here in the chat, okay? You don't see a chat thing here right now because I'm the only one in my project. Lastly, and right now it's gray, so I can't do it, so I'm gonna make one little tiny change. All right, so you see this thing at the top? This is the save button. This is like your golden ticket to success. Always press the save button. When it's purple, that means that it needs to be saved, and it will help you, not lose your work. If you ever need to undo something, let's say you make a mistake, let's say you press this, you totally screw up something. Whoa, what did I do? This arrow right here is your undo button, and you'll see that you have undo and redo. That's extremely helpful as well, okay? I hope this gives you a good rundown on how to use Soundtrap on your desktop or laptop, and if you have any issues, please let me know, okay? I'm going to exit the studio. When I exit, it's going to take me back to my home page, and you can always find that project again by looking under My Projects. I have a lot of projects, so it might take it a second to load, so be patient. Right here under My Projects, you should see Miss Weinert's tutorial example, and I could just re-enter the studio at any time. So I hope that helps you out, and happy music making!